This is a sneak peek of the latest offerings of UAAGI. They carry brands such as Chery, BAIC, and Lynk Co. I'm Nick Calanok, and you're watching Car Guide Philippines. To start out this video, we wanted to get the vehicle that is meant for the Filipino people. And what we have here is one of the 3 Chery vehicles that will be featured on the Manila International Auto Show. And this is the Chery Tiggo Cross. This aims to be sub 1 million pesos, and that's why this caught our attention. And looking at right here, it has the price of a subcompact SUV, but it's just as big as a compact SUV, and that's saying a lot. Once you step into the all-new Chery Tiggo Cross, the first thing you're really going to notice is the comfortable seating position that you get from the car. Because it's a bucket seat, it keeps you planted. But because it uses a really nice leatherette material, it's equally comfy. Next, you get a dual 10.25-inch info system. Here in the middle, it's the instrument cluster with a multi-information display. And over here, you have the infotainment system. Both are 10.25-inch. This comes with wired Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. But in any case, you can still plug the vehicle so that you have a more responsive Android Auto experience. But from what we've seen, the wireless Android Auto works pretty well. Not only is the interior flooded with good-feeling materials, soft touch over here, a very beautiful design center console, toggle switches. You know, when you look at it for a sub 1 million peso car, this really has a lot of premium touches. And for the ownership experience, Chery Auto Philippines really offers a lot with this car, such as a 5-year warranty or 150,000 kilometers, whichever comes first, 3-year free roadside assistance, and 3 years or 60,000 kilometers free PMS twice a year. And when you consider all those things on the sub 1 million peso category, it's hard not to look at the all-new Chery Tiggo Cross. With all these offerings on the sub 1 million peso category, I have to say that the Chery Tiggo Cross is an impressive vehicle. Now, with that out of the way, let's go to the next offering of UAAGI. Next, we have the taste of the future, the Lynk Co 02E SUV. So as the name suggests, this is a full electric vehicle that is on an SUV platform. But I'd like to call this a crossover because it's part SUV, but it also feels like part sports sedan. Because if you look at the numbers, this also feels like a sports car in its own right. So it is powered with a permanent magnet synchronous motor, and it is rear-wheel drive, giving 270 plus horsepower and 343 Newton meters of torque. So if that isn't sports cars numbers for you, I don't know what is. More than that, this has a stylish exterior ripped out from the pages of a sci-fi novel. Stepping inside the Lynk Co 02E SUV, it is clearly from the future. Like, look at the steering wheel alone. This looks like something from a spaceship. And when you see the design cues that this car brings, it really oozes out this clean, futuristic build. Starting with the multi-information display over here, I actually like that it's long because it gives a lot of information without obstructing your view. And with this steering wheel, it actually matches everything all together. And then it comes with a really huge infotainment system over here that's basically like a laptop right in front of you. When you go through the menus, I love the high pixel density and the clean execution of the menus, even up to the font. If you look at the infotainment system of the Lynk Co 02, it will truly impress you. It also comes with wireless charging and a 14-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Everything that you see here is planned to be sub 2 million pesos, which I think is incredible for such a vehicle. So if you're looking for a vehicle that really is like the taste of the future, wherein it's full electric, the design itself makes you feel like you're in the future, all that stuff, you really might want to consider the Lynk Co 02E SUV. Going back to the internal combustion engine vehicles, we have here the BAIC B40 Trailmaster. So as the name implies, this is supposed to be a serious off-roader. And keeping the long story short, it is a serious off-roader. And being as such, let's talk about the engine and transmission. So the BAIC B40 Trailmaster comes with a 2-liter turbocharged diesel engine, which has an output of 161 horsepower and 390 Newton meters of torque. On a vehicle like this, that's more than enough to go off-road. And paired with the engine is a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. So for exterior styling, you can see it's very macho, but more than that, I like that when you get this car, it comes with beefy all-terrain tires. So off the showroom, you can actually bring this off-road. Outside, the B40 Trailmaster may look rugged, macho, and all that stuff, but I'm happy to report that once you step inside the B40, it's very plush, very refined, very premium feeling. Like all that all that ruggedness like went out the window and it's kept outside. Starting off with the displays over here, you have a ton of displays. You have a digital instrument cluster here, and then on the side you have a 12.8-inch dual screen. So that's two 12.8-inch screens, and it has a lot of information you need. So let's go to off-road so that we can engage everything manually. So right now it's set at 4A, so that is basically like all-wheel drive. It will intelligently pick what setting you need to be. But for more advanced off-roaders, you can switch to 4H, and then if you go to neutral, you can switch to 4L. You can actually lock not only the rear, you can also lock the front differential. There. So this car is one of the few in the market that has both front and rear diff locks. How cool is that as an off-roader? It deserves the name Trailmaster. I'll hand it off to BAIC. And now with that out of the way, let us go to the bigger brother. Last but certainly not the least, because this is the biggest offering here in the lineup, is the BAIC B60 Beaumont REV. So like the name suggests, the REV, this is a full-size electric SUV. But don't you worry, this has a range extender because it has a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine, which charges the battery. But at the same time, if you want to plug in this car to charge, you can do that as well. With a dual electric motor drivetrain, this has a whopping 540 horsepower. And when it comes to torque, it's 655 Newton meters. With that, it has a 120 kilometer estimate of a range, so this can travel really far. With a 250 millimeter ground clearance and a water weighting of 800 millimeters, definitely this is meant to go off-road. So compared to the previous BAIC B60, this looks very similar, but the huge differences besides the drivetrain is what you get inside. So let's go check it out. There are a lot of huge changes, and it's directly right in front of me. We have a 10.25-inch LCD screen. Here in the center, we have a 12.8-inch infotainment system and driver assist. Evidently, you can see that the BAIC B60 Beaumont REV, it's really becoming more premium than ever. So instead of the four-wheel drive knob system on the previous Beaumont, here you have actually two knobs. And what I like is because you have the power of choice. Just like the UAAGI lineup, you have the power of choice. And so on the upper knob, you can actually prioritize fuel, prioritize electric vehicle, or auto mode. Honestly, for me, I'd stick to EV priority because I want the electric vehicle experience. And then you get a lot of premium SUV stuff like panoramic sunroof over here, leather seats, leather handles, faux wood. The list just goes on. Clearly, you can see that BAIC really wants to deliver a very premium, full-size electric SUV. And if you ask me, I think it is a job well done. And that is the roundup of the sneak peek of the latest offerings of UAAGI. If you want to see them for yourself or even test drive, you'll want to go to the Manila International Auto Show happening on April 10 to 13. For more information, you want to check out the respective websites. And for the latest news and reviews, stick around with CarGuide.PH.